Welcome to Uni Speaks Podcast. I'm your host, Shada, and today I bring you episode 16. You lose them how you get them. True or false? Now, if you're wondering what's about to fly out of my mouth next, stay tuned. You don't want to miss this episode. Welcome to Uni Speaks Podcast.
Uni Speaks Podcast.
Uni Speaks Podcast.
Uni Speaks Podcast.
Okay, y'all, so I'm ready to dive in. And my first disclaimer is that I am going to try to stay on task because I have a lot of information for this particular topic. So first, I want to dive into what was said on social media about the topic when I posted it and what people were saying. One person said, her name is Jessica Brown. She said, I feel so, but then again, what's for you will be for you. Jillian says she thinks it was false and she thinks it's circumstantial. Yes, they may have gotten you by cheating on you with your partner, but that person may not have been compatible as you. Also, if you have to take into account growth and change for a person. Just because they cheated on you doesn't necessarily mean they would cheat on me. Nina says, I can never dismiss that because cheating for me is who you are as a person. If he cheated with you, there's a strong possibility he will cheat on you. The phrase is typically used on those who go into a messy situation knowingly. Someone cheating on their partner with you doesn't make you the better choice. Okay, so those comments were from the Facebook post that I did post a few weeks ago, just trying to get a banter of what people thought. Okay, so here's my take on the topic. Let's start with this scenario. You're dating someone. You knew they were in a relationship and they're courting you as if they have no one else. They basically stepped out on their partner to entertain you and eventually ended their relationship to be with you. So that's where the you lose them how you get them come into play. I first started to think about why is the phrase said, right? And I'm thinking okay, a woman or the man that got cheated on could be scorned. They have hatred for the person that left them and to whom they left them for. And they're hurt. So they just are mad and they have hatred for their partner that is putting them through this nonsense. I feel like it's a general statement and it's also a double-edged sword. While yes, the person can be a habitual felon of cheating and moving around because when things aren't ideal, they make sure and they keep their options open and available. I also feel like there are levels to relationships, and this was or is a level that the partner could not unlock in that person that they was with. But someone else was able to unlock a level in them, which kind of coerced them to navigate that way. Now, please understand, I don't condone cheating, right? At the fuck all. I don't condone cheating. But maybe the compatibility and the deep aspects of things was just not there. Now, I also feel like it comes from a place, like I said previously, of a woman or a man scorn. The whole phrase is said by a person who was hurt by infidelity. Just think for a second. When they say this exact phrase, did you pay attention to the body language? Did you look at their eyes? Their soul may be screaming that shit hurt me, and I hope they do the same thing to the one they left me for. Meanwhile, everything that you begged this person for, they're giving it willingly to the person that you left them for. Now, I'm speaking from experience here. The facts are, should they have cheated? No. But they did, because maybe you were not the one that they saw forever with. And that's my take on it, right? Now, as we take a double back, we have to look at the factors. A lot of people are staying in relationships that they know is not healthy. They know they're not compatible. They know that this person is not unlocking what I need them to unlock in me. And There's a lack of satisfying needs of your partner, lack of communication, reciprocation, lack of mental, physical, emotional connection, and there's neglect in relationships, right? With all of those factors in play, sometimes that's why people start entertaining other people. And yes, they're entertaining other people. Is it right? No. But me being human and understanding, like, you can't deprive your partner of what they need, because if you don't give it to them, someone else will. And that is a favorite quote: what you don't do, somebody else will. Sometimes people get too complacent in being who they are, and they get too complacent and comfortable in relationships, and they're not willing to change. That not willing to change can lead to other things if your partner is not happy. So you sit back and be like, well, why didn't they just leave each other? Why didn't you just break up with me? I know I'm not the only one that has been in a situation where somebody's trying to break up with you and you're doing everything in your power to make them stay with you. And then out of pity, out of force, out of their own not so good judgment, they ended up agreeing and staying in a relationship with you. But they also cheat on you. I'm speaking from experience here. Okay? It's one of those things where if you know to let go, let go. Because when the time is up, the time is up. You can't force no time. Now they cheated on you with someone else while they were still with you. Now you're bitter and angry, mad and butthurt. And you feel as though, well, he cheated on me to get with her, or she cheated on me to get with him. She gonna do the same thing to him. But possibly not. Possibly not. They're probably compatible in ways that you and that person wasn't compatible in. There's probably levels and doors that they unlocked in their mind that you couldn't unlock for that particular partner. We hold on to people that is only meant to be here for a season. We try to make them stay around for a long time. And sometimes you just have to let those relationships go. Just because they chose or choose to seek what they needed and found a different compatibility elsewhere doesn't mean they'll cheat on that new person with someone else. I've seen literally, I can't speak, y'all. I'm sorry. I've seen literally someone cheat, and within 6 months they proposed. Within a year they got married. Still living happily ever after he cheated on his longtime girlfriend. I've seen where someone cheated on their partner, left, and has been faithful to this new person ever since. Doesn't even think about cheating. And again, they're doing everything for this new person that you begged for them to do. And it's a slap in the face, because now you're sitting there like, well, why you didn't do that for me? And the reason why they didn't do that for you, honey, because you wasn't the right person. You wasn't their person. You wasn't the one. So just because they left you to be with that person doesn't mean they're going to leave that person to be with someone else. Not necessarily. Now, I'm not saying that it can't happen, because it can happen. Someone can just be an habitual felon of cheating. And as soon as it's not ideal, they move on to the next. They're always cultivating their next victim. Those are the people that you have to stand clear of. Those are the people that you have to pay attention to the signs and realize what's going on. Like, okay, you know what? Now you're bickering back and forth. Now you get mad and leave. And you already see the signs, but you're holding on to what they showed you in the beginning. You're holding on at the beginning. You're holding on to, you did this in the beginning. You're holding on to, you said this in the beginning. Instead of really seeing that person for who they are, seeing the situation for what it is, realizing your own worth and your own value, and just understanding like everybody that you come across is not your forever. Everybody that you come across is not your rings and marriage and a white picket fence and kids. Sometimes it's a lesson. You have to be willing to understand when someone is a lesson for you and let them go so you can receive your blessing. With that said, this is a short episode, and I want to thank you for tuning in to Uni Speaks Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's discussion as much as we did. Be back in 2 weeks when we dive into episode 17, when shooting shots fail. If you feel like you want to be a guest speaker on that episode, please visit us at unispeaks.com and schedule you some time so we can record a session. I'll be more than happy to speak with you. Like always, I want to hear from you. Share your thoughts, experiences, suggestions in the comment section below. I appreciate your feedback, and it helps me create content that resonates with you. Stay connected with us on all social media platforms for updates and behind the scenes content. As always, the links will be provided below. Like, subscribe, and comment, and tell somebody about us, because we ain't going nowhere. I'm here to stay. We out.
And you're tuned into Uni Speaks Podcast.
Uni Speaks Podcast.
Uni Speaks Podcast.